Hi, folks. I'm meteorologist Tom Vick with you here on a Friday evening. Yeah, it's the end of the week, and the weekend is upon us. Missed you yesterday. It was yard work day. You know, when you have errands to run and appointments and that kind of thing, and even just sitting around the house or just doing something for sin-law weather. Well, the grass is growing, so I had to get out there and take care of it. It's all right today, though. Let's check out some numbers. 89 out of AX, and the WASP is happy and active again for today. Dew point 70 degrees. Those readings pretty typical for this time of year and this time of day. Going up into LaSalle Parish, and we got Rapides Hospital, the Regional Medical Center, Kim. As we look northward, we see a partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky. A lot of high and mid-level clouds today, or at least more than what we've seen. A little bit of a weather change as we're seeing a stalled front to the south trying to make its way northward during the next couple of days, and that's going to correspond to an increase in clouds. We do see some clouds up in LaSalle, and now your Gina Cam 88 degrees for the fine folks of LaSalle Parish. And going the other direction over toward Leesville, it is 90 degrees. We see a few buildups there, nothing serious as far as rain or storms or anything like that. It is partly to mostly cloudy. And Stelli's in Laveau Market and Restaurant. Head down there and get some good stuff. If you're down in St. Landry, we've got 93 degrees. See some clouds and some dark bases there at times. And there has been some rain in and around the area for today. In fact, we've got radar turned on. The best coverage has been across southeast Texas and south central Texas, from south of San Antonio up kind of through the Houston metro area. And they kind of need a little relief because remember, a lot of folks are still without power from Beryl. And so, yeah, you can get that little relief, at least some temporary nature's air conditioning there from these showers and thunderstorms. Now, we'll take a little closer look at Sinlaw. See a couple of outflow boundaries traveling around. Here's one right here. There's a pretty good area of thunderstorms across portions of Allen and northern Evangeline Parish. Here's one outflow boundary coming on the north side of that, and we're seeing a second outflow boundary come from this cell, which was in the southern portion of Evangeline Parish, and that is spitting it out toward, that's past Eunice already, and into areas just to the north of Lafayette. These could become areas where a few new showers of thunderstorms will develop. And again, but the coverage today has not been what I forecast. I had 50-50, and I don't think we're there yet, but the day's not over yet. So there may still be some hope for my forecast. A little thunderstorm developing there in eastern Vernon Parish, not far from LeCamp, probably between there and Fort Polk, Fort Johnson, that is, as we see the lightning bolts increasing, and you can see a little outflow coming in, spitting it out toward the west. And so that could be a little active center of convection later on. But small scale, I don't think we see anything large scale out of that. Satellite and radar, you see just kind of a gentle clockwise circulation here. There's a bit of a high pressure building there, a high pressure cell with a clockwise flow. Remember, that kind of a hot bubble of air, but the Gulf kind of tempers that heat for us. And the hottest conditions with these type of highs are not here. They're up across portions of the eastern seaboard. So that's what's happening with this deal. But that southwesterly flow, we're kind of on the edge of that. We'll kind of be bringing some of this pattern out of Texas into Louisiana, into Sinlaw, and we'll see a little bit better rain chances here starting the next couple of days. So for tomorrow, Futurecast reveals that especially as we head into the PM hours, afternoon and evening, we will see at least hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. I'm not looking for a general rain or anything like that. It'll be hit and miss, but the coverage I think will be better than what we've seen the past couple of days, even continuing to midnight. So I'd say midnight, noon to midnight will be your window of time for any convection for your Saturday. Saharan dust model. Look at these plumes of dust coming off the Sahara Desert, the world's largest desert. And these are important because, as you see, first of all, they correspond to the tropics. And of course, the tropical season is here. Hurricane season 2024 is with us. These represent disturbances which come off the west coast of Africa, heading heading westbound into the Atlantic Ocean, and they represent areas where they kind of raise and deepen the inversion layer of the trade winds. They also are associated with dry air. Remember, tropical systems, they like deep, rich moisture. This kind of interferes with that as it puts some dry air into the picture And so, yeah, with these Saharan dust plumes coming across the Caribbean and a couple more in the Atlantic, I think, and this is good news, that we will see kind of a quiet Atlantic. So tropical interest areas over the next 7 days. Nothing that we see in the Atlantic, but I'm going to shift this over to the Eastern Pacific, where we do find a little interest area, a lower end, less than 40%, and typically we don't see anything affect us this far out to the east. It's usually closer to the coast and kind of recurves quickly across Mexico into Louisiana, across Mexico, Texas into Louisiana, or something like that. But with this, I want to make one point that commonly in my experience, what I've seen is that once the Eastern Pacific becomes the center of action, and I think it will be, then things in the Atlantic basin are quiet. So you couple that with evidence of the and proof of the Saharan dust layers, which are in that Atlantic basin. And I think I'm optimistic over the next 7 to 14 days, we will see a quiet Atlantic hurricane season during that time period. The only caveat and only exception I can see to that might be something close to shore, because you can get little pre-existing disturbances that can spin up or develop, and they can find an area of warm water in the Gulf or off the East Coast, east of Bahamas or something like that, maybe even in the Northwest Caribbean, and they can find a low shear environment, and these homegrown type storms that come up close to shore, they can develop into something. That would be a possibility, but generally I see a quiet 7 to 14 days in the Atlantic basin. All right, let's check things out. For that good news, we have a typical July pattern. Rain coverage increases Saturday. We stabilize to a typical 40% for Sunday, and 40% is what we should be seeing in the column. We've got less than that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as we heat up just a little bit as high pressure kind of strengthens its grip on us just a tad. So we'll see a little bit of an upturn in temperatures, and the heat indices will be 95 to 105 during this whole period there through the middle of next week, and maybe even 105 plus in some of the hottest locations. And then a pattern change comes in for Thursday and Friday. That will start to be seeing some weather out of the north as we see another big high take shape out west. We're going to the east side of that. A trough will be taking shape across the plains, and that will bring in some weather to send off from the north. And Thursday, especially into Friday, rain and thunderstorms in the forecast there. Notice the downturn in temperature. So if you need some rain and you don't get it, that might be the time to get it. And I extend it into next weekend, July 20th and 21st. Rain chances remain above the 40% that we typically see. I got 60 on Saturday, the 20th, and 50% on Sunday, the 21st. And so that's part of that pattern change. Turn your weather eyes to the north at that time. That's where you might see some rain coming from, and temperature staying below mid to mid-July averages there during that time frame. All right, thanks for being with me. That's all I've got for you this time for Saturday. Nick Mickens will be back with you in the morning. I'll do something in the PM, I think. Got my yard work over with, so I should be free. See you at that time. Take care, and thanks for your support. Have a great evening, and a super